Flooded and forgotten, the report paints a harrowing picture of inequality, suffering, and insecurity faced by millions of people living in informal settlements. These areas are often crowded with makeshift homes and no running water, electricity, or proper sanitation facilities. Amnesty International South Africa believes that government's failure to provide adequate housing continues to trap millions in poverty and exposes them to worsening climate-related disasters.
What we're seeing is that because the state does not take action and because the state does not, once a flooding has taken place, do something to make these communities flood resistant. And then, of course, the other factor we have is climate change. We've seen a change in the weather patterns. We've seen, extreme weather conditions. We've seen floods. We've seen, things happening within the weather space that has also exacerbated the situation that is being faced by people who are already facing difficult living conditions.
The report covers the period from February to September this year and focused on 3 large metropolitan municipalities, Cape Town, eThekwini, and Johannesburg. The researcher who compiled the report says while municipalities acknowledge the risks, their responses remain slow, leaving communities stranded for months after disaster strikes.
While the provincial government told Amnesty International that there are plans to build permanent houses which will be completed in December 2026, it is clear that flood-affected people have already waited far too long for dignified housing. Flooded and Forgotten also documents how alarmingly around 100 flood-impacted households from 2022 were relocated to a temporary relocation area established in Lamontville, eThekwini, on the banks of the Umlazi River. The city's decision to establish the TRA in that location resulted in residents of Lamontville being flooded again in February 2025. People who had faced the trauma of their homes being flooded in 2022 had to once again flee in the middle of the night to save their lives.
Some attendees welcomed the report, but others expressed frustration. Sofin Tsubulane, who lives in the informal settlement, said they feel neglected and forgotten by those in power.
The truth, the situation in Orange Farm is very bad.
The living conditions in Orange Farm are very poor, especially during the rainy season. Most of us live in shacks, and when floods occur, our homes are often destroyed by the rain. People here are really suffering. Many of us are unemployed, and when our children get sick, we can't afford to take them to healthcare facilities.
Most of them.
The report revealed that informal settlements in the country reflect an acute housing crisis. Amnesty International warned that forced evictions will only worsen homelessness and poverty. It says government needs to go beyond recognizing the vulnerability of residents and take swift action to reduce this risk.
The first thing the government can do is to stop evicting people and to stop creating new problems. In Tshwane, we saw in 2012 the Constitutional Court tell the city to refurbish Schubert Park, a huge block of flats that's standing empty today, 13 years later. So there's some very, very basic things. If government just stops evicting people and starts providing basic housing and stop pandering to rich interests that want poor people moved out of the city, that will be a good start.
The organization says it will soon launch a national campaign aimed at amplifying the voices of those living in dire conditions. Lerato Makula, SABC News in Johannesburg.